Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Hello and happy Friday. How are we doing today, guys? Valentine's Day. I know you two romantic dudes must have big days planned, yes? What? Chandler.
You know what?
Chandler.
I'm taking my 3-year-old on a date into Crumble Cookies at 5 o'clock, but she's gonna wear a dress. I'm gonna wear like a suit. It's gonna be a whole situation. And then me and wifey are going to LA, going to town tonight.
Okay, all right.
I did this because I heard Crumble Cookies at the end. I wasn't expecting that to be the date spot, but I forgot that is your baby. It is your baby girl. That's appropriate. My bad.
Yeah, that's all she wants. She doesn't even want to go to dinner, honestly. She just wants to go to the cookie shop.
Well, who wants to go to dinner when I can just have cookies? Like she's a smart girl. All right, I like this. Lou, big romance today?
It's going to be a long weekend. I will say that. It's going to be a long weekend. A lot planned, step by step.
Okay. Oh, I love this for you guys. Okay, good. We'll definitely ask Bobby Portis about his Valentine's Day plans as well. I'm sure he'll love to answer that when we have him on a little bit later on in the show. But we did have games last night. Poor guys that had to play up until the very last minute. And one of those teams was the Warriors. Kerr wasn't happy about it, but guess what? They got themselves a win in Houston. 3-1 with Jimmy Butler. Defeat the Rockets 105-98. Steph with 27. Butler finished with 19 and 8. Steve Kerr has continued to try a bunch of different starting lineups, including that man right there, Pajemski. And Kerr said he will remain in the starting lineup for now. Chandler, what do you think the best lineup that they can put out there actually is?
I do like this small ball lineup, at least at the end of the game. I think when you start a game like that, it kind of sets the tone. But when you go with Draymond at the 5, especially defensively, it kind of gives you so many more options. They can switch everything. They're all like size. Offensively, the ball just flows a lot better. There's constant movement. I will say with the big dude Quentin Post, the way he's playing right now, and I'm picking and popping and shooting the ball, he's also a good option, at least just to mix it up and to put him in there for 10 to 20 minutes a game. But I think their best lineup is this small ball lineup. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they work in Kuminga. Like I said earlier in the week, Kuminga, Butler, and Draymond, they're kind of similar type players. Obviously, you have Steph Curry, and then to fill that 5th spot with another shooter is going to be critical. But I like the way this team's playing. They play hard. They're tough. Jimmy basically gets a switch on every pick and roll offensively, and they just throw it to him in the post and let him play bully ball. All the constant movement offensively kind of lets these guys, screen and slip to the hole and get easy layups. But I definitely like this, at least finishing the game. I don't really care who starts the game for them, but I think this is the closing lineup.
Small ball, Lou. Love it. Hate it.
Yeah, it's working for them. They're 3-1 playing like this. And like we said, when we start talking about guys having balance or a team having balance, you have Jimmy Butler, you got Steph Curry. Those are going to be your primary scorers. And then you have Pajemski. I'm sorry if I messed his name up. You have Pajemski, and then you have Moody. You have those two guys that are going to do the dirty work, that are going to make spot shots, but going to dive on the floor, going to do all those things. And then you have Draymond Green, who's going to be your quarterback on both ends, going to be super talkative on the defensive end and on offense. He's going to run the offense, going to initiate things, make sure everybody's in their right spots. So this works for them, and like we just alluded to, what are they going to do now with the bench? Like, what are you going to get out of those other guys? So far, so good with this small ball lineup, and it's working for them, and they've been successful with it. So this may be something that the Golden State Warriors can work with moving forward.
Lou, I want to talk about how Jimmy Butler has fit in quite seamlessly. Draymond said he's a franchise changer, and then without him, last night would have been one of those games that they may probably have lost. What do you think it's been about him? I mean, he's a vet, but him fitting in as much as he has, did you think it'd be this easy?
Toughness, number one. Toughness is number one. That was one of the things that they wanted to clean up. They wanted to get tougher. They wanted to have more like-minded guys, like a Draymond, like a Steph Curry, guys that have been through the trenches of trying to win championships, deep playoff runs, that knows what it takes to win those type of games. And Jimmy Butler brings that to the table. He's fell short of some of those goals, but he has those experiences that he can bring to the table. And on the offensive end, as you seen last night, when things got a little tight for the Golden State Warriors, they can throw the ball into the post to a Jimmy Butler, and he can go get a bucket, or he can create free throw opportunities where he can kind of slow down some of your momentum and give you an opportunity to get back into games or to continue to flow. You see it right here in these clips: backdoor cuts, getting out, being in the right place. That's just veteran leadership. That's a veteran guy. So when Draymond says that he's a culture changer, he's a game changer, that's what he means. He's bringing that toughness that this Golden State Warriors team hasn't had up until this point.
If only he'd been there sooner, Chandler.
Yeah, and again, I'm not surprised because also let's not forget Jimmy is 35 years old. He's just got his last big bag. Like he is now in a position to win and maximize, playing with arguably the greatest point guard, best shooter of all time, where he's going to get opportunities he never has before. So you pair him with the toughness and the defensive mind, like a Draymond Green, and this system that they have where it's constant movement, where I've never seen a system more where when you screen, if you set a good screen, you're the one that's going to get rewarded. If you set a good screen on Steph Curry's guy, your guy's going to jump out, you slip, you have a switch, you have a mismatch. And that's what Jimmy's done these last 3 or 4 games, where they'll literally just get a smaller guy on him, throw it up to him, and just let him play bully ball and get to the free throw line, which he's fantastic at. But I think he's going to thrive. I think he's going to thrive playing with this. Obviously, this is the honeymoon stage. Things are going well right now. They're winning games. They're healthy. But I like what I see so far. I love the small ball lineup. I love what this versatility it brings defensively. And again, offensively, with this constant movement, everyone's going to get a touch. Everyone feels like they're involved. He's always going to be able to set screens and move. He's always going to be the guy coming off the screen. He can initiate the offense because he kind of plays with that point forward. It's a good system for him. And again, he's got to be happy. They just gave him $121 million. He's there basically for the rest of Steph Curry's career. So you better maximize it and make it worth it.
Anthony Slater was on earlier this week, and he's always covering the Warriors. He said that they're targeting the 6th seed. So we'll do a little math. Here's where they are right now. They're in the 10 spot, and they're only 3.5 games back of the 6th seed. There was a time when this sounded impossible, Chandler, but what do you think? Doable?
I think it's very possible. You said it, 3.5 games back with what, 30 games to play?
Yeah.
You can see the potential with Jimmy Butler in this lineup. You can see the more opportunity that guys like Moses Moody are getting. This guy Quentin Post came out of nowhere, where he's all of a sudden this valuable option as a pick and pop 5-man who's a legit 7-footer. They still have guys like Looney and Peyton that do all the dirty work, and they have their franchise kind of cornerstone piece coming back, Kuminga. So I like what they did. They didn't have to give up much. They got an all-NBA type player with Jimmy Butler, and as long as they stay healthy, they have a shot. Look at the teams above them. The Timberwolves are starting to play well. They had a crazy win last night with nobody playing. Dallas, it's kind of the weird. They're in weird no man's land where how can they get healthy? How are they going to do this next month or two? Really banged up. And then the Clippers and the Kings are kind of those wild card teams that are kind of fighting too. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's a good goal. I think it's very, very possible with 30 games left. I think they could definitely kind of bridge that gap.
Got to agree with you, Chandler. It's good to have a goal. Like, it's good to have something that you shoot for when you're a team. That makes it easier to get there, right? But the two teams that I always look around when teams say things like this. I look around and I see many is still going to be steady. Dallas is about to go through they're about to go through it. But you look at the Clippers, you look at Sacramento. I feel like Sacramento got better at the trade deadline. You know, you get De'Aaron Fox down to San Antonio, but you bring in a Zach LaVine. You bring in another guy that's a bona fide 20 to 25 point scorer a night, and you pair him up with the rest of those guys. Like, they're going to stay steady. The Los Angeles Clippers are going to stay steady. But now with this team, with Jimmy Butler, they're playing better basketball. They're playing confident basketball. They feel like they have an opportunity to get to that 6th seed. So they're not going to be able to walk to it. It's going to be a lot of adversity that they're going to have to go through, a lot of challenges to get there. But it's always great when a team can see the light at the end of the tunnel and say, this is what we're shooting for.
I mean, look, they beat a team last night that's ahead of them in the standings, and this Rockets team's going through it, as you said, Lou. 7 of their last 9 games, and they've dropped down to the 4th spot from 2. No Fred VanVleet for about 7 of those games, so I don't know if it's a combination of they're missing him or if perhaps this young team sort of starting to level out.
It's a domino effect. it's a domino effect. Like you get used to your veteran leadership, you get accustomed to what he brings to the table during games. You know, if a team is going on a run, you have that veteran to kind of calm everybody down to steady the ship. When you have somebody like that out, that's an all-star caliber guy, that's a leader, that's his voice is going to resonate with some of these young guys. When he's out of the lineup, it's going to show in the play. And also, you have a very youthful team. Like we weren't all the way sold on Houston being number 2 because of these reasons, because they're youthful, because they've never been in this position. Like they've never been the guys to go out and be the hunted instead of the guys that go out and hunt. Now that teams are wanting to get to that second spot, want to get to that third spot, they're going to be targeted, and they're going to get a lot of teams' best shots. And that's what you've seen since Fred VanVleet has been in and out of this lineup. And now they're reeling a little bit, and they're trying to find their footing. That's why we weren't completely confident in their ability to maintain that number 2 position with so many young guys on their roster. So I don't know where they go from here with everything that they're going through, but we were right the whole time. You know, they were going to go through it based on their youth, and also with Fred VanVleet being out. So I think it's a domino effect of both things.
Yeah, and it's if you're the Rockets too, there's no need to panic here. Right? I think you're exactly where you should be. It's such a young team. You have so many assets this summer where you can still better your roster. You have your core going forward. You have a hell of a coach in Udoka who's got these dudes playing hard regardless of the outcome of the game each and every night. But this is a team that I think is going to continue to slip and struggle just because of inexperience, because of youth. It's funny looking at these standings, like the Warriors could catch the Rockets for all we know in the next 30 games. That's how much I trust the Warriors more. Doesn't mean they're a better team. Doesn't mean they're in a better situation than them. But it's just crazy when you take a look at it. They were definitely the surprise team early, and now they're just kind of coming back down to earth a little bit.
They are. We'll talk about a couple teams next too, because the West there's going to be a lot of movement in these final 27, 30 games, because the T-Wolves last night, a very short-handed Timberwolves team, beat the Thunder 116-101. They didn't have Gobert. They didn't have Conley. They didn't have 4 of their top 8 scorers. Naz Reid with 27, 14, and 7. Ant finished with 23 points. They are 9-4 over their last 13, Lou. They are 3rd in defense. Maybe they figured something out. Maybe we judged them a little too harshly too early, but are they figuring it out right now?
I don't know how to feel about it, because they're playing their best basketball without some of these guys in the lineup, right? So yes, they figured it out. They're dealing with adversity well, but what happens when these guys come back into the lineup? Do you still play the same style of basketball? Do you still have the momentum that you've created with other guys being in the lineup? Like sometimes you find lightning in a bottle when you get an opportunity to go to your bench and guys get more minutes than they're accustomed to, and they know that they're not coming out of the game. They know there's not a sub because guys are injured. So you got guys that's going out there playing with house money with a lot of confidence, knowing that they're going to have an opportunity to make mistakes and be able to play through those mistakes and to develop through those things. And Minnesota had found some success in doing that. Now, what happens when a Mike Conley, Julius Randle, all of these other guys get back into the lineup who are big minute guys, and now you're back to the lineup that you started with, that you had some issues with? Where do you go from there? That's when you're going to become one of those good teams, when you know what you're doing to look ahead going into the rest of this season. That's going to be my concern with this team. What are they going to do when some of these other guys get back in the lineup?
Interesting, Chandler. We think.
And yeah, I think they can hang their head defensively. I think they have that potential to be the best defending team in the NBA. Guys like Jaden McDaniels are so versatile, can guard 1 through 5. And again, we mentioned all the guys being out: Gobert, Conley, Randall, Dante DiVincenzo, and they still find ways. It's next man up. It's Terrence Shannon, the rookie, who really stepped up last night. Rob Dillingham, who people are super high on in the draft. Now he's getting a little more opportunity with Mike Conley out. Naz Reid has been exceptional to me. He's been the difference maker. He's so good offensively. He fits so good with this system. He plays well off Anthony Edwards. He's kind of that versatile 5-man, really, who can step out, shoot the ball, can initiate the offense. So he's been fantastic for them. And Chris Finch he's an awesome coach. He's going to get the best out of these guys. He's a next up mentality guy, one play at a time guy. He never looks ahead. He never gets too high. He never gets too low. So I think this team, just the start that they had was a little frustrating and a little slow, but you can see the wheels are starting to turn. And once they get everybody fully healthy and they get the rotations and their roles down, I do think this team is still going to be a tough out come playoff time. And even Anthony Edwards, he's been very hot or cold lately, but he's still that consistent stud that just continue to make big plays down the stretch. And he's just that boat of confidence that you always have when he's on the floor.
Yeah, and if you ask him, and he said it recently to Complex, that he's not a superstar yet. He had 23 last night. Do you agree with his assessment of his star level, Chandler?
No, he's a superstar. He's a superstar on the court. He's a superstar off the court, game-wise, personality-wise. He's got it all. Now, I do think we need to be careful putting him on this pedestal, because he went to the Western Conference Finals last year, and I don't want that to be his peak. I know the move of Cat last year kind of, hurt this team a bit, but he's got to continue to win at a high level. We know how good he is. He's going to put up gaudy numbers every single season. He is that good offensively. He's really good defensively. He's one of the best two-way players in the NBA. He's the most exciting player to watch with just his balance and his athleticism. So I love that he said this. I love that shows that, humility and, being humble, but nah, the dude just, he can even act, for God's sakes. I watched the Adam Sandler, whatever that movie is with the kid from Spain.
Hustle?
He's a hustle. The guy can even act. So he's an absolute superstar. But I love him saying this and kind of showing that humble side of him that we rarely see.
Yeah, I like the fact that he said this, right? Even though we feel like he's a superstar, there's still room for improvement. There's still room for him to grow into some of these accolades and positions that he want to be in. We don't want him to be a superstar for all the wrong reasons. Like when we were playing, we had guys that were very popular, very infamous in the league for things outside of basketball. We want him to be known for what he does on the court, and that'll present the other opportunities. That'll present the acting, the commercials, all of these things outside of the basketball realm. Like you don't want your focus to be in the wrong place. So he's there. I would say he's a budding superstar. He's on his way to being a superstar. Right now, he's an all-star level guy. Once you start getting those championships, you start getting those MVPs, then your commercials and your movies and all of those things, they make sense and they go in the pot all together. That's what creates superstars. So I'm with him for still having an opportunity and still leaving some room for improvement for himself.
Speaking of commercials, for those who don't know, one of my obsessions in life is Law and Order, especially SVU. And Adidas now has a commercial with Anthony Edwards and Ice-T. Amazing! Can we show the dunk from last night? Because the other guy on the receiving end of this happens to be Chet Holmgren. Where do you rank the dude in-game dunkers, Lou?
He's high on the list. I don't know about all time, but currently he's gonna be one of my favorites. The fact that Ja Morant doesn't want to dunk as much as he used to anymore, and Edwards is still keeping us entertained over the rim. Chet's been out a while. He might not have got the memo that Anthony Edwards is still dunking at this rate. So you might want to get a full body verticality or just get out of the way completely, Chet. But this was nothing short of amazing. I love to see when guys are aggressive and attacking that rim, especially our young all-stars.
Yeah, and plays like this just make him that superstar. You know what I mean? Like this is fun to watch. This is why people spend a lot of money when Anthony Edwards is in town. You splurge and you buy that ticket. You want to see plays like this. And he did kind of go a little bit around the left of him, but listen, he could have went right through him too. This was nasty. It's crazy. This isn't probably one of his top 10 dunks because he's got so many, but yeah, I think he's the best in-game dunker in the NBA right now.
Okay, I'm going to go watch that during the break. We will take a quick commercial break right now. On the other side, Bobby Portis is back with his Valentine.
Hey,
okay, wine. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that next.
How could you doubt me?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
It was there.
I don't need the fame for the cons with the extra.
Got the take on the first. I still got it.
I don't get tired, go hard, no question.
Bobby Portis. He is a competitor.
I'm so glad the sunglasses made it. Are those all Opus bottles top right? Because let's talk about what we're going to do here. We're going to celebrate. How's this going?
Expensive.
Good stuff.
First off, man, what's up, guys? Man, how y'all doing, man? I ain't seen y'all.
We jumped to the wine, Bobby.
I ain't seen y'all in a minute, man.
Yeah, I know
For
an
real.
NBA Cup budget when I see one. Hold on.
Yeah. I'm
See
just
those?
budgeting it.
I
I'm
like
budgeting
these.
it. I'm money manager right now. Man. You know, I'm just trying to, you know, gradually grow as time grows, man.
There
I
you
like
go.
this. This is a good
I
investment.
Love the presentation. Love the
I
You
presentation.
got a week. You got a
Appreciate
week
you.
off, Bobby. I expect you to put a huge dent in that cellar,
Good
bud.
call.
Yeah. I'm gonna definitely get right to it. Me and the guys, you know, we're gonna have a couple drinks. You know, just let our hair down a little bit, just relax, have a little
deserve-
fun, and then
Are
get
you
ready
going
to do
somewhere?
it next Thursday.
Do you chill or do you go on vacation? Like, how do you have a week off? So what do you do? Anything
I'm
good?
chilling. I thought about going like to the Bahamas or something, but I didn't want to mess with the customs and coming back and all that. I just want to chill, just relax. Obviously, we got 29 games left when we come
Yep.
back after the break, so it's gonna be a sprint, and we just gotta be ready. So I'm just gonna chill with the fam. I had 2 weeks off back about a couple weeks ago. My grandma had
Yep.
passed away, so I was at home in Arkansas for a couple weeks. So that was like my all-star break for real, just to relax at the crib, chill with some family members, stay out the way. Now I'm just relaxing, trying to get my mind off of a lot of other things and just trying to lock in for the second half.
We
Understood.
are
Sorry to
happy
hear
you're
about
back.
your-
Yeah, our
sure, for
condolences.
Appreciate that.
Do you watch the All-Star game? Like, will you have it on? Will you have any of the nights on, for that matter?
Yeah, it's a tradition for me. Just watching the All-Star game has always been a thing since I was a little kid. You know, especially like Saturday night, NBA Saturday night, you have some of your favorite players doing some skill competitions, 3-point competitions, dunk contests, all those things. That's like my favorite night of the All-Star weekend, really. You know, there's no telling which stars you might see courtside. Sometimes as a kid, I used to just watch the games to see who was gonna be there. You know, so it's always fun, man, just to indulge in the All-Star weekend festivities, see who's gonna win each event. Obviously, you know, I think the 3-point competition has become like it's the main marquee event you know, over the years. But it's been fun, man. I watched the All-Star game as well. I don't know how it's gonna be this year with the teams. I'm kind of anxious to see how they do that.
Yeah, we don't know either, and we're kind of anxious as well. But it's funny you should say that, though, because even though we haven't even tried out this new format yet, we're all going to see it for the first time. We've already moved on here on the show, and we're looking ahead to when it's USA versus the world. That's what we want to see. Are you down with that? Like, does that sound good to you as well?
Yeah, man. We just gotta win the game, though. You feel me? you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
we can't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We can't go against the world and then they just suddenly somehow beat us. You know, we can't give them guys that much respect. You know, obviously, I'm from the U.S. I'm on U.S. soil, so I represent the U.S. At a high rate, man. So if that ever becomes a thing, you know, we just got to make sure that we win the game, man. We can't give these guys no upper advantage on us to feel like they better than us.
I double
Hey,
down
Lou.
on it.
Lou, think about what he even said. We have to win the game. No one cares if they win the game now, right? So that's how you know, at least the Americans,
Yep.
USA, we would care to win that game to stay on top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's coming.
Absolutely.
I just don't know how it'll work for the world. Because after I told them yesterday, Bobby, when they go to their bench, it's over with. So they top heavy.
Not going to the bench.
Who would be their bench? Who would be their starting five? Who would be the starting five?
Five would be SGA, Luka, Giannis, Wemby, and Jokic. Their starting five is dead.
And
Give
then
me the
it gets into like the Jamal Murrays. They get into some
Sengun.
the Senguns.
Marketed.
No ball handlers. That's what I'm saying. They can't go to their bench with no.
It gets scary. It gets scary after that five, man. It gets
That's
scary.
what I'm saying.
No breaks.
That's what I'm saying. It get crazy
So
after
we go to
that.
who would be Team USA starting five?
Probably
Starting.
Steph, LeBron, KD.
Next year, if it started next year, you think it's still?
Ant, Devin, Joel.
Yeah.
Nah, Joel gonna be on the world team, man.
Thank
No.
you. I said that.
Yeah,
Joel
Joel
gotta go that
We
way.
can't keep
America.
throwing Joel. Nah,
But
bro, we
listen,
can't keep throwing Joel on USA.
Without
like
even
that,
thinking,
man.
you gonna have
we
Tatum,
can't keep throwing
you
him on
gonna have
USA.
Jalen, you gonna have a ton of guys on the USA team. So we can go on and on about that. I
I love
wanna
it.
ask you about your I wanna
They
ask
got
you
Carl
about your,
Towns too, though.
Yep.
They got talent over there for Dominican
Yeah.
Republic.
Even though Lou's trying to claim the Dominican Republic now as the U.S., which that
still
ain't
got
it.
no ball handlers. Still got no
Still
ball
got
handlers.
no ball handlers.
Yeah, but listen, I want to ask you about.
We ain't gonna be able to rebound though. We're not gonna be able to rebound though.
Bobby loves it. I love this.
Yeah, look, we can stay here. We can stay here all day.
Oh.
But I want to give you, I want to give you a teammate his flowers. Andre Jackson Jr. He's also participating in All-Star Weekend
Yes,
this year
sir.
in the slam dunk competition. Give us the inside scoop. Have you seen some innovative things? Has he been practicing? Anything we can expect that you could tell us behind the scenes?
I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. First off, shout out to Andre Jackson, man. That's my rook. This is second year in the league. He crazy, man. Ain't no telling what he might try, bro. I'm telling you, like, ain't no telling what he might try. In practice, I remember in training camp this year, he was trying to dunk everything. I'm talking about stuff that you couldn't. I'm like, bro, ain't no way he trying.
Is he
Like,
an in-game dunker or does he have some flash? Like we've seen him be an in-game dunker.
Yeah, I think he's more so of a. I don't know. It's different, man. It's different only because like he can do in-game dunks, but in the realm of it all, man, he got really real deal bounce, man. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how he goes about this.
Who have you played with that has the most bounce of all time? Over the years.
Person I played, we got the most bounce of all time. Hey, yo.
Hey, tell him we on live TV, man. We working.
We on live TV, man.
Don't do anything bad.
What they doing, man?
they messing the money up.
They messing the money up, man. Nah, but like I think the best person they got the most bounce I play with. Damn, that's tough. I would have to go back to my college days though, to Michael Qualls. Y'all don't know him though. If y'all can pull up 2014 Arkansas versus Kentucky putback dunk.
Dang.
Y'all ever seen that putback dunk?
Nah.
Nope, but I'll look it up.
At the buzzer. After we done off of this.
Oh, here we go.
Off of this segment. Y'all gotta pull that up.
It popped right up.
Y'all
Boom.
let me know if the man got bounced or not. At the buzzer though. At the buzzer. Crazy.
Jeez.
He's like a DJ
People
Steffens
crying.
type bounce. DJ Steffens.
Yeah.
From Memphis. Crazy bounce.
Yeah. He got crazy bounce too though. Some of his dunks don't even be. They don't even be for real though.
His was.
I can't even believe like some of the dunks that he does, bro. Like I remember logging on Instagram and then they just showing this dude just doing crazy. I'm talking about in warm up, throw the ball up between the legs, all type. I'm like, yo, this dude, wow.
When I was in, dunk from your.
Yeah, I just sent it to him, Bobby. So they can, by the way, the best part of that dunk that you just told us to look at are all the kids in the background with their little blue ties on, just looking sad. That's the best part of the video. Well done.
I seen y'all talk about Ant-Man dunk from yesterday too, man. That was OD.
Oh yeah,
that was nice.
That was OD.
Chandler's critiquing.
My favorite thing that I liked about that dunk was the crowd. Like, it's the angle they had on the baseline. If you look at all the crowd in the back, everybody just stand up. Like, that'd be my favorite thing. Like when stuff like that happen, like the crowd reaction. Like that was dope.
I love when your own teammates gets dunked on. You see your own teammates kind of.
Yeah. Be like, yo. Especially on the bench. Especially on the bench though.
Yeah.
The bench reaction always be the best because somebody
like
always
stand
tap
up
somebody.
and then sit down, realize that's their own teammates. All right, Bobby, let's talk about the NBA trade deadline. Last week was nuts. Saw a lot of moves, a lot of crazy moves. I saw your name being flirted around there somewhat. Obviously, you didn't get dealt. What is that like? Like, are you just constantly calling your agent, constantly checking Shams' Twitter? Like, what are you doing in that situation? Is it frustrating or is it part of the business? Like people say.
I depend. Like, I really feel like it all depends on like which space you are at in your career, right? If you're a young guy in the league, you might not understand what's going on. I remember like my first time being in trade room was when I was playing with the Bulls early on in my career. I didn't really understand like the business of basketball, what's going on. I just seeing my name floating around. And then I remember like my first time actually getting traded, it actually really hurts. Like you like, dang, like I've been with this team for 4 years. They just traded me to the Washington Wizards, and now I don't know nobody here. I don't got no friends on the team. I'm not acclimated to the city. I got to move all my stuff from Chicago to Washington. Like, it's just a crazy feeling. And then once you start to get older in the league and, you know, if you're blessed and fortunate to be around for an extended period of time, you kind of just understand the moment, right? You know, it's not personal. You know, teams are just gauging guys' you know, value around the league to see what interest there might be to other teams, to see if there could be something else that this team could want from them, they can get from them to upgrade their team. So with me personally, it's not personal. You know, I take it with a grain of salt and go out there and just be the best Bobby Portis I can on a nightly basis. Let the dominoes fall, they fall. But it's not personal at all. At first, I used to take it real personal, like, oh, they got me in trade talks. Oh, and I got to go out here and show them, like, this and that. But nah, it's just a day at a time thing. You know, it's a day-to-day league, week-to-week league, you know. You be out 2 weeks and your name's in trade talks, and then you come back and suddenly your name not in trade talks. So it's kind of just how the league goes.
Yep, and business is business. And unfortunately, man, your ex-teammate Khris Middleton wasn't so lucky. He was traded to the Washington Wizards, and you know, initially we thought this was a buyout situation. They were going to put him in a better spot, but they said they're going to keep him. So, you know, have you spoke to him? How is he doing? What's his thoughts on the trade if you've had opportunity to speak with him?
Yeah, so I actually haven't spoke to him because I wanted to give him time to kind of just reflect on everything that's going on. Obviously, he's been a part of the Bucks organization for 12 years. That's a long time being with any franchise. Sometimes guys don't even make it a couple years on a franchise. I can just imagine being in the same city for 12 years, being acclimated, having this same kind of routine that you probably do on a daily basis. So I actually haven't texted him about it because I know once it first happened, it's probably been so many people hitting him up. But over the weekend, I'm going to start hitting him up, calling, see how he's doing, see what's going on. But definitely was a weird day. I remember just getting up, going to shoot around. It was my first game back, too, against Charlotte. I just flew in from Arkansas to Charlotte, met the team there. First game back, and then my first shoot around. I don't see Chris in shoot around. I'm like, damn, where Chris at? And they're like, shoot, he's getting traded. So definitely one of those things where it's like it's the business of basketball sucks, and you have to move on and, you know, continue doing things. But I already knew they weren't probably gonna buy him out. He has another year left on his deal. I can't see him taking a buyout with another year left on his deal. Maybe if it was a expiring contract, then probably so. But if I'm taking a buyout, I'm not taking a buyout with 2 years left on my deal either. I'm keeping my bread.
Right.
For real. What I'm taking a buyout for, Lou? For real, like right now.
We gonna go through it for a little while. We gonna sit still.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the punches. Yo. I'm gonna take the punches.
That's the only thing where I'd be frustrated if I'm him, right? Because when you get traded, that's one thing. You've been there 12 years, like you said, but it's to where you get traded to. And like you're going to a team rebuilding, you're older, you're fighting through injuries, and now you get traded to Washington. That is where I'd be like, damn, you couldn't at least send me to a contender or somewhere where I can, you know, hoop. And that's where I would be a little frustrated if I was Chris.
Well,
but then again, like the business of basketball too. Sometimes I don't think your team is going to send you to a contending team, though, right? Like why would like a team that has you on your team send you to a situation where you can probably beat them, like, right? Like, so sometimes the business of the game is just the business of the game.
Yeah. You know, we had Darius Garland on yesterday, and they obviously had a big trade at the deadline as well. They send LeVert and Yang away, and we were wondering, especially me being just a normal human, we all have text threads. How quickly do you guys sort of send Middleton out of a thread and bring Kuzma in, or is there just a whole separate thread started? Like, how does that work?
It was actually kind of weird. So I didn't know how it was going to work. So I didn't even really want to text in the group. Like, I'm always a guy, me and Dame, like the two most talkative guys in the group message. But now since we added KPJ, Kevin Porter, he kind of like chiming in a lot too. So I kind of like that. But like at first it's just me and Dame. We like chiming in, keeping the guys organized, talking, sending little funny stuff, everything that we find, maybe on the internet or social media, whatever it is. And I think like the next day, like it's this group message we had I forgot who took him. I think our team security was in a group mess, and they just removed like 4 people from the text and then just added new people. Like I'm like, dang, it just kind of just moves fast.
Damn.
So definitely
It's
kind
hurtful.
of it's kind of awkward, but at the same time, it's like can't really take it personally.
It all depends
No,
on relationships too. Like if you tight with them, it's a little awkward. Like, all right, dog, we gotta go, get you out of here now.
Bye.
Yeah,
But you
I
gotta
definitely
go.
wouldn't want. I definitely wouldn't want to be the person that removed Chris out the group or anybody
gotta
out
do
the
it.
group. Yeah, like I don't want no smoke. You know, we homies. Like I didn't do this. Like somebody else did.
I would
Yeah.
just
Not
start
doing
a
it.
whole new. I would start a whole new thread before I would just take him out of the.
Well, that's what we that's what we do,
Whole
right?
new
Like,
message. Whole new
Yeah.
but
message.
I have
check.
seen that.
That's
I
what
would
we
take.
did
You know
with
what I would
Sean.
do? Yeah, that's what we did with Shams. We just started a new one. Or you take yourself out. You get ahead of it, and you're just like, I'm going to remove myself from this thread. But
Yeah.
that's weird too. It's like a weird breakup. I don't love it. By the
Yeah.
way, we haven't seen a lot of Kuzma fashion, and I kind of blame Chandler and Lou for that, because you guys said nothing but mean things about all of his cool outfits. So is he going to start bringing some of that back now? New team, new looks, or is he still chilling on the fashion?
You want me to be for real? Like my
Yep.
totally honest answer?
Yep.
Man, there ain't nothing to be dressing up for in Milwaukee, man. You don't need
There
to
it
put
is.
hey man, you don't need to put none of that on in Milwaukee. You don't need to be dressing up after the game at 10 o'clock, everything closed. It's closed out there. Ain't no, hey
Sweats.
man, ain't no STK Mastros to go out to eat, none of that, man. Hey, it's time to go to the crib, lay down, get ready for tomorrow, man. Like you ain't even gotta do all that in Milwaky, man.
At
You
least,
keep it
at least the
cool.
games are exciting though in Milwaukee. You have a
Throw you
chance.
This is true.
Hey, Lou, throw you a little jumpsuit on. You ain't even gotta do all that in Milwaukee, man. Just win, hey man, just win, man. Just win. That's it. All you gotta do is
I'm
win,
gonna get you.
man. Just
I'm gonna
win.
get you off the hook before Milwaukee get mad at you, man.
It's coming.
Listen, at the deadline, we see the crazy trade happen with the Los Angeles Lakers and the Mavs in trading Luka Doncic and swapping out Luka for Anthony Davis. What was your initial reaction when that trade went through that night? We
I
thought
was in
Sean was
Arkansas. I was in Arkansas at the time, and I was sitting upstairs chilling with my little brothers in they media room in my mom's crib. And we was chilling, and my little brother, cause he always on top of like everything that's going on in the league. Like I'm talking about anything that go on, he the first one to know. So I just heard him scream like, oh, oh, oh. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Like, what's going on? He like, oh, look into the Lakers. Look to the Lakers. I'm like, look to the Lakers, man. That's smoke screen. Like on Instagram, you might see all these. You might see me in a Wizard jersey. You might see me in a Chicago jersey. I might see myself in anybody jersey.
Gotta
They
check
just-
your source. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They just jersey swapping people. Like, they just jersey swapping. So I'm thinking it's a jersey swap. And then I seen Sham's name. And I'm like, oh, this for real. I see his name, I'm like, nah, this is wild. So I really couldn't believe it. Especially like Luka Doncic, where he's 25, 26 years old. Like crazy to say, like he ain't even in his prime yet. He still got a couple more years to reach his prime, but it feel like he in his prime because he all NBA every year, first team. But I don't know, just a crazy trade to make for real. But I guess we'll see who wins it down the line in the future.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute, but we'll get an answer at some point. Bobby, love it. Enjoy your time off and have the
Get
best
to that
time.
wine,
We'll talk to you
my
next
boy.
time.
Enjoy your week.
Yes, sir. I'm getting
Time.
right to it, Lou. Don't worry about that.
It's almost lunchtime. We'll be back with Country Star and Celebrity All-Star Game. Welcome back to Run It Back. Oh, I guess we're back. We are welcoming in someone now it's game day for her. So I'm a little bit
It's
shocked
game
that she's
day.
it's game day for you. Mickey Guyton joins the show right now. Look, we're used to seeing you sing anthems, your music, award
Yes.
shows, but you're playing basketball tonight on Barry Bonds and 2 Chainz' team. A sentence I never thought I'd get to say, Mickey. How are the nerves?
I don't think I was ever ready to ever hear my name in that sentence. So
It's a great sentence. Are you nervous? Like, how are you feeling?
yes, I'm nervous. I had tequila yesterday before even playing because I was so nervous to get over my nerves. It's just too much. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be just fine. I promise you. I understand you played a little AAU basketball back in the day. Who did you?
I did.
Yeah.
And then I tore
Who
my
did you-
ACL and I kind of hung up my shoes. So this is going to be interesting to
Twins. I
see
tore
what
my
today
ACL as well. I
Twins.
know the pain. Yeah.
You're never the same after that happens. You're never
Absolutely
the same.
not. It was just raining here in Atlanta, and my knee is cranky as we speak. So it is what it is.
I was icing my knees this morning. I'm not kidding. It's trash.
Who did you? But I want to know, who did you pattern your game after when you were a real deal hooper?
Man, I used to love Penny Hardaway. He was like my dude growing up. I loved watching him play. He was the one for me.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
But I was not trying to play professionally, y'all. Like I was a singer.
Doesn't matter.
That is what I like to do, you know?
No, but when you played, you did your best. That's all
Yes,
we do.
I did my best.
Now, I also heard Steph and Magic are two of your favorite players. Now,
Yeah.
there's a lot of debates. Who's the greatest this? Who's the greatest that? But of those two, who are you riding with as the greatest point guard of all time? Steph or
I'm
Magic?
definitely gonna say Magic. Come on. Like that's like it goes without saying. He's a legend. You know, Steph Curry is a legend as well, but I have to say Magic for sure.
right.
Yeah, and you're in the Bay right now. This is a very gutsy line of questioning that we're doing right now. Okay, so if you're a Warriors fan and just get Jimmy Butler, and now they're 3-1 since he got there, how are you feeling about the future of this team?
Listen, so my husband is a huge Clippers fan and he's in the other room right now. So I've got to be like really quiet, but I am low key very excited. You know, it's just awesome that he's a part of this team. So we'll see what happens.
You think with that lineup and Steph Curry, you think they can win a title with this group? You think they can get
I
back
hope
to
so. I hope so. You know, only one can hope. You never know. The NBA is so hard these days because there's so many incredible players versus like back in the day where you had like your main players. Like everybody is so amazing. So we'll see. We'll see.
Everyone's a superstar.
Everyone
it's
is
crazy.
a superstar.
I feel like that's what it's like. A lot of household names, including KLAY Thompson, who, by the way, we just got used to seeing him in a new uniform. So, as a fan of that team, was that difficult? Did that feel like a weird breakup?
A very huge breakup for me. Like, you know, seeing Steph and KLAY Thompson together, they were so magical. And to not see them together, it has been very heartbreaking, I have to admit.
Yeah.
So, Mickey, I got to ask you this now. Obviously, the big trade last week was LUKA Doncic. It was shocked the whole
And
world.
I'm from Dallas. Hello.
Oh, okay. So, three-parter now, I guess. So, from Dallas, how devastated are you? Your husband, being a Clippers fan, how devastated is he?
Shout out to him. Shout out to the husband for being a Clippers fan.
Seriously.
Listen, Blue, I know when I saw you pop up, I was really, really excited. Like when you left the Clippers, that like broke my heart, let me tell you, like broke my heart. So my husband has been a diehard Clippers fan since they played in a gymnasium. Like that's how much my husband is a Clippers fan. We're brokenhearted. My husband keeps saying like every year it's Clippers year, every year it's our year. So we're going to see, we are brokenhearted. My dad is terribly sad that they left the Mavericks. So we'll see.
I mean, it's been a very drunk couple of weeks from the NBA side. I have to ask this because everyone, you know, for us who don't sing, we dream of the idea of singing a national anthem. And now you've done it on the biggest stages, the Super Bowl, the NBA Cup. But now you're playing in this basketball game. So nerves wise, does one feel completely different from the other? Do you have the same butterflies?
No, I'm still just as nervous. I'm sweating thinking about it. You know, like this feels like the Super Bowl for me. I have not slept. I'm getting in fights with my husband because I'm like, what am I doing on this court right now? So yeah, it's really nerve-wracking for me.
Well, I'm not saying this because you're here, but go ahead, Chandler.
I was gonna say, not that it's gonna make it better, but doing what you do is much more comfortable. When I played basketball, I never got nervous. When I go and play in a golf tournament now, Mickey, and there's people on the first tee, I've never been more nervous in my life. I'm terrified. And it's just getting off that first tee. So I feel like once you get
because
to
you're
the
all alone, all eyes are on you.
Everyone's watching you. It's terrifying.
It's terrible.
Here's the deal. Just don't miss the shot you take. That's my little bit of advice. You know, no big deal. You have a lot of actors on your team, by the way, and I don't know if it's great advice. Like
makes and misses are part of the game.
Yeah,
no.
Make sure you make all your shots, Mickey. You'll be fine.
No, Mickey, I'm counting on you.
My percentage is not high, y'all. It's not 100%. High.
That's what we. And by the way, you got a bunch of actors, but I don't know. Your team is interesting. Yeah.
Noah Khan, he should be called Noah Kerr. He is like.
That's what I'm hoping. All right, Mickey Guyton playing tonight.
So good.
We will be watching. I think it's 7 Central. I think is when, or 7 Eastern when it starts. So good luck. Don't be nervous. I'm totally kidding.
Good luck. Take another shot.
Stretch.
I will.
Stretch.
I'll think of you guys.
We'll be right back. All right, so we are going to go ahead and do our picks for the weekend. We're going to start with 3-point contest because I feel like we all agreed on this one. It's Chandler. I think we did.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Dame Lillard, right? He's already won 2 back. He's going for the 3-piece. He's from Oakland. Dang. He's going to have friends and family there. He's got a lot to prove. Give me Damian Lillard for the trifecta plus 300.
Yeah,
I gotta agree with Chandler. I like Dame Lillard as well. I started to flirt with the idea of Tyler Hero. I started thinking about guys that shooting forms, getting the ball off the rack, who has a quick release and all of that. And then I thought, why am I fighting the obvious? It's gonna be Dame Lillard. He's at home. This is his home crowd. He's motivated. 3-peat. Give it to Dame.
I wanted to go with friend of show, Darius Garland as well. But yeah, I think I do this. By the way, does Pat Riley get royalties if they do Dame Lillard 3-point shootout? He does, right? Dang, he's a genius. Slam dunk contest. Here we go, Chandler. What you got?
I got to stick with what I've seen in recent years, and it's Mac McClung. He has kind of brought back the dunk contest. He's made it cool. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen these other 3. I haven't seen a lot of film on these other 3. So I'm going to go with the guy who's kind of brought the dunk contest back. Give me Mac.
I thought you told us about Buzelis. I thought that was the thing.
I saw him in a gym this summer with Bounce. I didn't see him do a dunk contest. I just saw him like crazy. And he's like 6'9", so he doesn't look as good when a tall guy dunks.
Fair, Leo.
I gotta stick to what I know. Gotta go with what I know. I'm going with Matt McClung. Again, I thought I flirted with the idea of Stephon Castle because he's an Atlanta guy. He's a young guy. I had an opportunity of seeing him in high school play just a couple of years ago and was very impressed on how he almost ripped the rim down in my gym. But I gotta go with the popular pick. I got to go with Matt McClung, knowing what he can do. I'm sure he's going to try to do something innovative and new. He's been working on it, so got to stick to the favorite.
Well, get ready to be sickened by the rest of my picks. Castle for me, for the win. Let's go. Let's go. It's about to become a Spurs party, skills competition. Chandler. Look, this one's a no-brainer. Come on.
Give me Team Spurs. This is what they do. Chris Paul's general, Wemby, 7, whatever. He's got something to prove here. I love
7-9.
Yep, I'm going with skills competition. I'm going with the Spurs as well. When we talk about skills,
look at us. We're just agreeing on everything.
Yeah, you got the unicorn, and you got one of the best point guards to go down in the history of the game. Can't go wrong with that. Spurs.
Yeah. Mine is
I gotta ask you, Michelle. We know you're going Spurs.
I almost put my Beatles Spurs jersey up today. I was about to go hard on this one. And then we've got this crazy All-Star game situation. The teams are as they look. We got 30 seconds. Go, Chandler.
Give me Kenny. I think they're the youngest team. I think they're going to play the hardest, and I think they're going to win the games. I like them just being there with their youth.
We agree again. Kenny, once again, it's on. Chandler, look at us. Look at us
Come
today.
On
the same page.
Are we writing these down? Because I got Team Chuck. It's basically the closest thing to my global team that I'm going to get for a while. And Trae Young. So that does it for us. Enjoy All-Star Weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.